All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so
Good
much for joining us
morning.
here on WLBT Plus First Alert Weather Edition. A very, very, very cold start to the day. And we'll just dive right in and show you how we started out this day. Whew,
Yeah,
whew.
it was definitely there was a bite in the air for sure.
That's not a bite. That's a
Temperatures
punch. That's cold.
temperatures this morning were in the low 30s, upper 20s the further north you went. Just zooming in here on I guess not. But either way, it was really cold this morning. Pretty much all across central and southwest Mississippi. It's still a little cooler outside right now, but overall, it's not as cold as we were a couple of hours ago. Temperatures currently sitting in the upper 40s. With that breeze, it may be a few degrees cooler than our actual air temperatures. But today's actually going to be slightly warmer than the past couple of days, and that's because we've got some warm Gulf moisture coming in ahead of an approaching cold front that's going to be bringing us rain later today.
Yeah, I was going to say, looking at the humidity already, I mean, over the past couple of days, it's been in the low 30s, 40s in terms of our dew points, which is always a good thing. But our humidity is starting to return, or really the moisture is starting to return into the forecast for you today. And that's because of that frontal boundary. Really, it's just driving in a lot of moisture into much of central Mississippi. We're going to be getting some storms rolling into the picture in the next couple hours, to be honest with you. Some of you off to the west and to Vicksburg down near Natchez could be seeing a couple showers in the next couple hours, which is nice to say. It'll be a cold, rainy day for a lot of us here. So if you do have the opportunity to stay inside and sleep in or take a nice nap in the middle of the day, well, by all means, I think today is probably the picture perfect day for that. So, and if you are heading on into the rest of your evening, well, you're probably going to need your rain gear as well, because you don't need it. You didn't need it for your morning commute. And I really hope that you listened and grabbed it, because it is more than likely going to be raining into the evening commute, which not necessarily a fun time there.
Yeah, I would say probably around 1 or 2 o'clock. That's when we'll start to see showers for our far most western counties along the Mississippi River. And then rain coverage throughout the rest of this afternoon and into the evening commute will only increase from here on out. But it does look like the heaviest of showers will more than likely arrive by around 9, 10 o'clock tonight. Can't completely rule out a rumble of thunder, but luckily no severe weather to worry about. So that is some good news. And it's pretty much going to stick around at least through around 4 o'clock in the morning or so, especially for areas south of I-20 and east of I-55. But then by around 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, we pretty much should be good to go in terms of rain chances. And it looks like our high temperature tomorrow is actually going to be earlier on in the day by the lunch hour or so, or just slightly before then. And temperatures after that are going to continue to fall.
Yeah,
so
I kid you not, when we say that this is a strong cold front, we mean it, because on the back end of this, we have a first alert weather day because of the fact that it's going to be frigid cold. We're talking about temperatures down into the low 20s for some portions of central Mississippi. That's mainly off to the north, but places further to the south could see temperatures down into the 20s, which is crazy to say that places like Biloxi down near Hattiesburg or Macomb might see overnight lows into the 20s, more than likely by the time that we get into the day on Friday. So that is something that we're tracking. We've issued the first alert weather day for the fact that the freezing cold temperatures will stick around for not just the early morning, but throughout the day as well, because by the time that we even get to Friday afternoon, we'll see our highs only peaking into, the mid 40s?
Mid 40s. Sorry, I'm pulling up something here. Dave made a post yesterday. I just thought, just some trivia for you today. Dave posted yesterday that our normals for this time of year, we're usually sitting at 61 for our high early in December and 40 for our low. So our high on Friday is more than likely going to not make it out of the 40s. And our lows to start out the day, as Chase mentioned, will be in the 20s, feeling more like the teens as you get ready to head out the door with that wind chill. So that's why we have the first alert weather day. And you actually are probably going to start noticing that big drop in temperatures by Thursday night. By midnight Friday, temperatures are already going to be at the freezing mark, and it's going to feel more like the 20s. So already by around midnight, we're going to be at 32 degrees, and then from there on out, through around 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, we're going to be below freezing. So hard freeze conditions are going to be more than likely the case for Friday. So before you head off to bed, this might be a dripping faucet type of night before you go to bed for Friday. So we're going to be dealing with those very frigid conditions for the early mornings, and it's not going to be improving by much throughout the day. Highs really only in the 40s. Still going to be feeling like the low 40s and upper 30s mixed in with wind chill. So as we mentioned, if you haven't turned on the heat yet, I definitely would recommend doing it, especially towards the end of this week before this cooler weather arrives.
That's not that's straight up a mean type of cold. It is just nasty, to be honest with you.
A little chilly.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring out my parka. I am from up north, so I do have a longer coat. If you also have a longer coat, I definitely recommend it.
I've lived in the South my whole life, and I've never once owned a
it's actually coming in handy. I mean, this isn't the type of weather we
good
see this
point.
time of year, but it's coming in handy. Mm-hmm. So if you have one, definitely recommend
for those of you that don't
for Friday. But it's okay if you don't. You don't need to go run out.
Just bundle up, please.
Yeah, just layers for sure.
The good news is Saturday doesn't look to be all that bad. There is a chance that we do continue to see maybe a possible light freeze, some frost, patchy frost, more than likely into Saturday, with us flirting with that near freezing or a little bit below. It just depends on where you are in central Mississippi, but we warm up really nicely throughout the day into the mid to upper 50s again. And then Sunday rolls around and we don't have to worry about freeze, but we have to worry about more rainfall that'll push it into the evening, overnight hours, and into Monday morning. Mm-hmm. That's where the main timing for that system is right now. Still a couple of days out. And again, we have so much else going on in the next couple of days. So not only was it the rainfall today, the freezing conditions into Friday. So we'll get to Sunday when we get there, but just a heads up and a look ahead into what you could expect. We are expecting some rainfall into the overnight time frame.
Yeah, so there are some weekend plans going on. I know the SWAC Championship is on Saturday. I think you should be good to go in terms of the weather. It may be a little cooler, but not too bad. Temperatures in the mid 50s. Some models are hinting at maybe an isolated shower Saturday night, but I think it'll be very light if there is any that do arrive ahead of the main system on Sunday. So keep that in mind. But overall, outdoor activities look pretty good for Saturday. Sunday, a different story, because by Sunday afternoon and into Sunday night, and also into Monday morning, we're expecting a pretty decent amount of rainfall, where we could see anywhere between 2 to 4, maybe 5 inches locally in some places as that system moves in. So there could be an isolated flooding risk with these with this next system, not the one today, but the one this weekend. So keep that in mind as well. And it looks like things should clear out by Tuesday, but again, we could be looking at some significant rain over the next 5 to 7 days.
Yeah, I want to point out the models have been trending more so towards Monday morning, early morning as well. That could be impactful into your morning commute. Obviously, the timing has changed. We'll see it continue to change as we get closer and closer, and we'll let you know a more exact detailed timing once we get the high-res models, the high-resolution models that do come in over the weekend. So check back in throughout the weekend into Saturday and Sunday about Sunday's forecast as well as into early Monday. But the one thing that's for sure, we'll see cooler temperatures on the back end of that. We'll also see a whole lot of rainfall. So like Ashley was saying, possible flash flooding is going to be a likely concern with how much rainfall we're going to be getting just in the course of that one system, as well as the fact that we are getting about half an inch to maybe an inch total from this one system that we're going to be expecting into the day today. So already saturated ground, you add in more rainfall. What does that really entail? So could see that possibility, but we'll update y'all when we get there.
So that's all I have. And of course, we'll continue to be tracking out the rain later today. I'll be on at 11 to give you a weather update. Meteorologist Elise Ushman will be on at noon, 3 and 4. And then Dave will be on 5, 6, and 10 later on tonight to talk more about the rain. And of course, the big cool down and first alert weather day on Friday.
And as always, if you have any questions, you can reach out to us, but have a great rest of your day. Stay warm.